Hey guys, I am Kristen LaFrance, head of Resilient Retail here at Shopify. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today we're going to cover 2 strategies to win post Cyber Weekend and prep for 2021. Now, I know at first this topic might surprise you. You might be immediately thinking, Kristen, why should I think beyond Cyber Weekend right now? One, don't we have enough to do? And shouldn't we be so focused on this rich opportunity? And I hear you. But here's the thing. You shouldn't bet all of your money and resources on one sales weekend. For one, the holiday sales season is now much longer than just the one weekend, so you want to be prepared for beyond that first weekend. And with so much going into your campaigns, we want to make sure there's something other than just one weekend of sales coming out the other end. This really is the easiest time to get in front of new customers and to acquire them because our wallets are kind of ready to spend anyway, so you're not dealing with that first obstacle usually. So what we want to do is focus on the long run. We want to focus on being resilient, focus on customer values over just a quick discount and a quick win. 2021, you will thank yourself, I promise. So let's get into it, why don't we? So really what this means is we're making a retention plan before the sales weekend happens. And making a retention plan work means that it has to be built into every single aspect of the customer experience across multiple touch points, which means you have to take a look at your mindset and your approach first. It's really time to reframe your approach and start thinking about the holistic view of your brand that is going to be a long-term, successful, sustainable business. So here are a few questions that I like to ask that you can look internally and really think about. Is there a retention mindset throughout the entire company? Meaning from every level, is it growth at all costs, or are you thinking about how to retain customers? Is there a cross-departmental focus on the customer journey? And what this means is marketing informing sales, which is informing loyalty, which is informing how you unbox your product, all of these things working together. Is there a focus on building a journey throughout every single touch point? Next, is your brand messaging consistent and does it explore your deeper values? Now we know in 2020 and 2021, a lot of customers are now just connecting with brands on a deeper level. We don't always just want to shop for the cheapest, most convenient product. We want to buy from stores that we really feel connected to and that we actually care about. So are you exploring those deeper missions and values that your brand represents to connect deeper with your customers? And then lastly, does the brand value my experience as a customer and do everything to improve it? Now, a really quick tip for your Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaigns, go run through them as a customer. Test them how a customer would. Put them on a test and send your mom through them. Really try and figure out how it feels to be a customer through that campaign, because a lot of times you're going to find some holes in the process when you do those tests. So, on to our strategies. The first one is going to be maintain engagement. Now, what this means is this weekend is not a one and done weekend. You want to thank your customers after the weekend and you want to bring them back into your fold, back into your community. And really what this is focusing on relationship building, brand awareness, and true value kind of right after the sales weekend, excuse me. And what this means is somebody has just bought something from your store over this sales weekend. Most likely they're not ready to buy something right away again. So what can you do if you're not sending them sales emails and product information? You're focusing on the relationships and the community and the other value that you can bring outside of just your products. Now, to do this, you need to hone in on your owned channels. These are email marketing, content, social media, SMS, all of the channels that once you have brought them into your database, now you can use their contact information and the information that you know to actually build deeper connections. Now, Bloom is a really good example of a brand that does this spectacularly. Here are just a few examples of how they actually build community and don't just talk about their products, because they know their products, like their Meltdown oil or their moisturizer, are things that I'm not going to need to buy every 2 weeks. They have to fill their calendar of touch points that are not just about the products. So on the top left, you can see here, they do this almost weekly, this program where they send out an SMS with a barcode for a free Starbucks drink, and you can go pick one up. It creates a lot of love for the brand and a lot of love for the community. Again, you can see other pieces of content they put out, like these self-care recipes from influential women in the space. They ran this campaign at the beginning of COVID. It was the send a love note in a box kind of campaign. Again, building that community and building the connection beyond the brand. And then they've also been doing these meditation Mondays. These are just ways to bring people into your fold and not just focus on sales. This is something you massively want to consider and start planning for that post weekend so that you can continue to build those relationships. So when somebody is ready to buy again, they're going to come directly to your store. Now, the second one is to scale customer service. This year is predicted to be one of the largest online holiday sales seasons yet. On the digital side, that means you need a team that's ready to handle an influx of CS complaints, issues, and questions while maintaining your brand standard. And that last point is really important. And also, a lot of people think about scaling customer service just for the weekend, but think about the entire time after the sales weekend. People are going to start receiving their products that they've bought. They're going to need to know how to use them, what to do with them, or where's the tracking information. All of these things are going to come up not just during the weekend, but after. And now getting back to the brand standard part, this is really, really important. Honestly, your CS is your brand. How somebody interacts with somebody from your brand is how they are going to see your brand. So you want to focus on making sure you can scale your team, but making sure that they can speak to the deeper parts of your brand, not just answer simple questions. So can they represent the brand in the way that you've built it up? Can they own the brand mission and the brand values? Can they keep the consistent messaging across the entire team? Now, if your products are sold in store anywhere, you're going to also need to scale up the assistance on that front too. If it's wholesale, you want to make sure that those stores are trained to talk about your products. If it's your own retailer, you want to make sure your staff is trained about the most common questions, the missions, the values, all these things, and you want to make sure you have extra assistance going into this weekend. Now, really what this means is you need to, start hiring if it's necessary, if you need a bigger team, and you need to start training those members as quickly as possible, not just on the right responses in tech, but on the brand value, the mission, the overall story. Really think about investing in your customer service before and after this cyber weekend. Now, really what this all means is that the biggest trend you can follow heading into the sales season and 2021 is resilience. No matter how many times we try to predict what's going to happen, how sales are going to go, how commerce is going to change, I think 2020 has proven to all of us that we can't always count on those predictions. And 2020 has made us just throw out the playbook. So really, this weekend, in order to succeed, you need to take a step back. You need to release the playbook that you've used before and find ways to adapt and adjust to the changing times and the changing needs of consumers. Honestly, customers have never had as much power to choose how they shop, where they shop, when they shop, who they shop with. All of these things are now sitting in the customer's hands, which is wonderful for commerce, difficult for us as store owners. Really what this means is that you just need to focus on relationships. You need to focus on being everywhere your customers are and providing value again and again. Embrace resilience, embrace the long term. Don't be resistant to change, and you will do well this year. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope these tips helped you think a little bit longer term than the weekend. As important as it is, you do want to have a plan for retaining all these new customers that you've brought in and serving your most valuable and engaged customers as well. So if you enjoyed this, you can keep up with me. Resilient Retail is Shopify's brand new podcast. You can go hear all the updates at this nice little link that I put right there. And I hope to see you soon. Good luck and happy selling.